time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey, guys. Welcome back and happy Monday, which means happy next day of hot, messy topics. Guys, we're back to talk about some hot, messy topics, but in case you didn't see in the live chat, I had it pinned. We are doing a members-only live tonight called Let's Whine About It. This is more personal content. Don't worry, if you guys are not members, we totally understand gas prices and everything else in between. They're going up, so this is not taking away from anything that we already have on our channel. No Bravo stuff, more just Jason and I, a different setting, more personal content. But we have a lot to talk about, and I see in the live chat where everybody wants to discuss some of the Jen Shah stuff, so we will do that. We'll kick it off with that. Before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And with that, let's welcome Jason Barrett.
Hi. Thanks for the intro. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
What a Monday. It's like this Bravo world does not sleep. I swear, like every day, like something pops up and it's like, how? It's like a machine that does not stop.
It's a machine. Well, obviously, you know, everyone keeps messaging me. My phone is going off the ringer. You and I just had this conversation. Jen Shah today went to court. Nobody knew that this was happening. And she changed her plea to guilty. So with that, everyone's asking, Adam, you know, why did you do this interview?
She's planning on changing it, right? Do we know which count she's actually going to plead guilty to?
Well, we're going to discuss that right now. I did want to say really quick too, though, and it's not like I'm defending myself or anything like that. The whole purpose of our interview, and Jason, you're the one who keeps reminding me of this. The purpose of the interview was not to put her in like a courtroom. It was sort of to get to know more about her as much as we possibly could ahead of trial. And the fact that we were even able to secure an interview ahead of a trial like this was actually pretty insane.
I also don't think you have to defend yourself, because we did open with the interview where this is her chance to tell her story. As you did with Fallon, as you did in other interviews, Mary's mom, it doesn't mean that what they're saying is exactly what people want to hear or exactly what the truth is. It's you sharing your platform for them to come on and share who they are. Regardless, we are not the court. The court will decide ultimately, you know, who's guilty, not guilty. Time will tell, you know, when it came to the Fallon thing. It's just, that's what it is. But what a shock, because during the interview, you know, it was very much, you know, I'm not guilty, now changing the plea. I'm really curious to see what those details are.
Right. I definitely want to have a conversation too. And I'm sure I'll have, you know, like in securing an interview like this, you get to meet a lot of the team. You have to talk with a lot of the people involved, and Jen has a lot of people around her. So we are curious. We're definitely going to pick some people's brains and have more conversations, because from what I'm hearing, that the sentencing will be in November. People keep asking me, will she go to BravoCon? I don't know. I don't know if that's something I would necessarily.
She is scheduled to be there.
She's scheduled to be there, but who knows? I mean, she could obviously change that. My biggest guess is that Bravo now has like a fire lit under their ass of like, okay, we have to get the season 3 reunion done ASAP. That's what I'm guessing. But are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I have a dog behind me.
Oh, okay. That's okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to bring up this really quick. Ronald Richard said breaking, and we mean real breaking. The real Jen Shah is going to plead guilty right now. In a surprise move, Jen Shah has snuck into court to plead guilty, with the court giving 1 minute's notice on the docket. Okay, and then now we're getting more information that says the guideline stipulation is 168 months in prison. Forfeiture stipulation, $6 million, restitution, $9 million. This means she gives up $6 million in any claim on assets already seized. And when she gets out, she has to pay another $9 million. All right. And then they also said too, hold on. He said, Jen Shah is pleading guilty to count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. The government will dismiss the money laundering count, because people keep asking me, what is she pleading guilty to? So from what we're seeing, she's pleading guilty to count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. The government will dismiss the money laundering. I guess 168 months in prison. That means, from what I'm hearing, that she's looking at anywhere from 11 years to 14 years behind bars. I don't know much more than that. I think that this is a question to, I guess, for Emily D. Baker to bring her on. I know a lot of people were going to New York to cover this trial, and if she's pleading, then I don't believe there will be a trial. So There's
Yep.
a lot of questions, I guess. I still have a lot of questions.
Lots of questions. So that's crazy.
All right. Well, guys, with that, we're going to get into, because right now we don't have any more information than that. We know that her sentencing, again, will be in November. We don't have any more information. I did ask you guys if you would want to hear from her again, if we could secure another interview and talk to her. Personally, I would not want to do an interview. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. I would want to spend time with my family. So I don't know if that's something that we can even pull off, or if that's something you guys even want to see. But go ahead and comment below in the live chat, because I am definitely interested in your thoughts on this. Now, with that, Jason, where do we begin?
You know what? We always start with, something like Beverly Hills or Erica Jayne, because that was a big deal this weekend as well. We start with that and we spend so much time on it, we never hit our other topics. So I say let's start at Southern Charm and work our way up to Ultimate Girls Trip, season 3, everything. All right.
Well, Catherine Dennis and Caleb, obviously we know that they are broken up at this point, and I have to give this man a lot of props. Watching Southern Charm, we see Catherine she's messy. She's sort of a little bit of a disaster on the show, and I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. We see her navigating custody issues. I mean, she had kids with Thomas Ravenel. I would probably be a mess myself. But watching this guy, he's a pretty stand-up man, because in his interviews, when he has all the opportunity in the world to, excuse me, sit here and bash Catherine, he's not doing that. He just recently did an interview speaking about, how much he loved her and how all of this really took a toll on her. And at times when he thought he was trying to be there for her, she couldn't see past what she was going through. So he couldn't he wasn't able to fully be there for her like he wanted to, but he did say, we were in love. This was not a situation that worked out. My heart is with her always. I'll always love her. And again, it takes like a really strong individual to be able to walk away from a relationship.
Yeah, we see his character, but does this mean we're not going to see him on the show anymore?
I would guess not. The show. Yeah,
and he was such a great addition to the show. I did like him, like you said. I liked his character. I like the way he has dealt with Catherine thus far. I like his relationship with his mother and his family. So it's a shame that we don't get to see more of Caleb.
Right. No, and obviously it's like anything. Like going into Vanderpump Rules season 10, we don't know if we'll see Raquel, only because.
But didn't she go on Sheena's and say that maybe we'll see a single Raquel on Sheena's podcast? Didn't she say that?
She said,
or am I mistaken?
She said that she would be willing to come back, but really, if you saw the reunion for season 9, it kind of made it look like we would never see her again. She said she was done with the Hollywood game. And the thing is if you're brought on by someone, 9 times out of 10, if you're brought on by a cast member who's already a prominent cast member on the show, you're not going to get to stick around. Like, how many of Jackson's girlfriends did we see come and go?
This is true. And listen, you're done with the Hollywood game until season 10 is renewed. And then you're back in the Hollywood game trying to get on season 10.
Because they're throwing a fat ass paycheck at you. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So with Southern Charm, though, I'm excited to see how the rest of this season goes. They really do have our attention. Jason and I, it's one of the few shows along with Below Deck that we enjoy watching without sitting there and cringing. Because a lot of these Housewives shows, I feel like we do watch and we're like, oh, Kyle, don't put your hand on her. Or Garcelle, you better get her because she talked to your kid like that. And we see, like, we're sitting there and we're getting invested, but we get like anxious. And sometimes it's not the best feeling. Like you just want to escape, and it doesn't always feel like an escape.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. I mean, like we talked about this the other day before we get into, the Erica stuff, that it's like Housewives in general, but especially Beverly Hills is just feeling very heavy.
Right.
And we talked about that, like the lightness and the it's just gone. It's just, this is our new norm. Whereas like even like Jersey, though, Jersey's not as heavy, but it's just more of a group of friends that everyone knows each other. And it's so, I don't know, that's easy to watch for me too. It's just Beverly Hills is kind of,
it's like the family aspect that keeps us for Jersey, though.
Yeah. And the husbands.
Yeah. And the husbands. All right. Well, speaking of Housewives, obviously we know that we have Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip season 3 coming up, and the cast is confirmed. You guys have heard me. I've complained about this. I'm not happy with this cast. And I feel like I don't know what the hell Bravo is doing right now when it comes to casting. I'm sure they have their reasons, so I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Like, for example, this is our cast right here, right?
Okay.
I don't know why Mary Cosby was not included. And some people were like, well, because she never showed up for the reunion, so she's not a housewife anymore. Yeah, well, Phaedra was fired. Brandy was fired. Taylor Armstrong was fired. Eva was fired. Dorinda was put on pause. Jill Zarin, I forgot all about her. You know what I mean? Like, they can bring Mary Cosby in. I think that Whitney should be replaced by Mary Cosby, even though I love Whitney. I don't think that she'd be great for Ultimate Girls Trip. Candace, I'm really counting on for the drama. Who do you think is going to be the biggest breakout star for Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3?
Okay, I can't wait to hear people's opinions on this too, because originally when this came out, we talked about how this is just not a great cast. And even Andy Cohen allegedly was not happy with this cast and asked them to try to rework it. Now, I mean, Tinsley, I'd be open to see. Leah, I hope to never see again, but I guess we're going to.
See, both of them I could do without.
Alexia and Marisol, I don't, I think they're going to be great, but I don't know how it's going to work with Heather and Whitney. But I do think, because you see Whitney start shit on Salt Lake City all the time, I think she's going to be great. Candace is going to be great. And I just don't know if Giselle will be our Cynthia, where she doesn't really fit in anywhere.
See, no, I think Whitney will be our Cynthia, where she doesn't really fit in anywhere.
I don't know, because she's good. She has grown in season 2 at coming in and really starting shit. And I think Whitney makes her rounds with the Bravo people. I think she knows these girls better than we think we do. And I'm curious if they'll bring it. But what's going to make it more interesting is right now, isn't Heather and Whitney still on a friendship break?
Yes, they are still on a friendship break. People don't know about that. So, surprise, they're on a friendship break. Okay, Jason's like, I'm going to sip my drink and be good.
Yeah.
But also another thing, and I don't want to sit here, and by the way, guys, 250 in the room, smash that like button, show some love. But I don't want to sit here and, rip apart anyone for not being, for not drinking, right? That's an amazing thing to not drink. But for Leah McSweeney, we saw on her second season where she was a lot more tame. She was grasping for storylines because she wasn't as entertaining, because she wasn't as much of a wild card, I guess. So her going in as sober Leah into this situation, I mean, we saw Luann kind of be sober Luann on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 1. That was all right to watch, but Luann, she still gets in the thick of it. For Leah, I don't know. Tinsley, I really don't want to watch her. I feel like she cries all the time on the show. I don't love to see that, and it's kind of depressing. Heather Gay, I love to watch. Giselle is messy as hell. That's why we watch her. So I get her and Candace. Candace is a wordsmith, so any one of these ladies who come, not
I don't know about
Candace,
Giselle, Adam. The only reason I'm going to question Giselle here is because she's really good with the ladies that she works with. She's very shady. She's very good with those ladies. How is Giselle going to be with everyone else? I mean, on Bravo chat room, she was pretty shady there too. I don't know.
Do you think that Candace she should have been pulled as the only one from Potomac?
No, originally I don't think I would have ever chosen Candace, but now I'm really excited that she's going.
She's like the only saving grace for me right now. I know I'm reading comments where people are suspend her, but
I would still, don't hold your breath on Whitney, because I really think she's going to come in hot. But if I had to replace 2 people, I'm going to say would have to replace Leah and Tinsley, the 2 New York ones.
Yeah. And, Alexia, I love, because Alexia is good on her own show with all of the storylines going on, but the women have known her for so many years, so it's easy to get into those storylines. Whereas I don't know how she'll do on an Ultimate Girls Trip. But for Marisol, we watched on season 4 of Miami, and nobody was sleeping on Marisol. She's messy as hell. So I think that our alliances here will probably be Marisol, Candace, and Giselle. And then I think in another way, we'll have Heather, Whitney, and Tinsley. I think Leah and Alexia will sort of be kind of the ones who are out to the side, who are Switzerland with everyone. But I just don't see this being this dramatic and exciting.
I mean, listen, aren't they going to Thailand?
Yeah.
So this in itself could be,
that's the rumor.
Yeah, it could be fun. It could be really fun.
All right. Well, we'll wait and see. Guys, go ahead and comment below. What are your thoughts on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3 cast? Sorry. Hello, Adam and Jason. Love you guys so much. Hi, Pamela Edwards. Hi, Sarah Babu. Hi, everyone. I have faith that the ladies are going to make it interesting. Sarah, I hope so. I'm also going to go ahead and drop the call-in link for you guys too.
I have completely done a 180 there, because I originally this whole cast, I was like, no. But now I'm like, okay, I can see it. I can see Candace. I actually can see Whitney like really being a prominent figure here. I know originally I was like, why is she there? Heather, I'm excited about. Giselle, yeah, I just don't know. It's the two New York ladies that could have been completely recast for me.
And see, listen to this. Like Minx said, I won't watch. I don't like this cast of ladies, especially Leah McCringy. And then you have Ebony
Well,
Dix, who's like, Minx, LOL, why do you have to be like that? So obviously we're divided on it. And what we do know after talking to some of our favorite housewives, and we have some, inside information here. Apparently what happened was Evolution Media and Bravo, the casting people went behind the scenes and they casted this group of women, and Andy Cohen wasn't necessarily happy. Well, last time we heard, it was this entire cast without Tinsley Mortimer. And then now that we've got another confirmation Tinsley's in, I'm wondering if that was like our wild card that Andy Cohen thought like, hey, she's going to be the one.
She was the one who gave it a green light, because originally when they cast it, it didn't include Leah when they originally cast it too?
No, it included Leah. She was supposed to be the only one from New York. But I also think that this is them throwing Leah a bone, because I think that they want so bad to fire Ebony without making it look like a racist move. So since they're firing Ebony, they have to fire Leah as collateral too, even though Leah did not have good ratings on her season. I think what they're going to say is, sorry, ladies, we're not bringing back any of the housewives who were on any of the seasons before, unless it's for Legacy. And those women had been around for a long time. So that's why they're going on Legacy. We're not keeping you guys. We're doing a whole new cast. We want to do a total revamp. So Leah, this is like their way of throwing her a bone, like, but we'll give you an opportunity to go on Ultimate Girls Trip. There you go.
And make things juicy.
But what does she make? I've never seen, unless she's throwing tiki torches and running around Ramona's backyard like naked and hanging off of curtains and saying like, shots fired. I'm not interested.
Did you say that Erica would have been a good replacement here?
My Dreamcast here?
Yeah, Dreamcast.
Okay. Dreamcast here would have been Lisa Rinna and Erica, even though I know people don't like them, but they are messy as hell. So Lexa for Erica all day. Go ahead, bring her in. Lisa Rinna stirs the hell out of the pot. So yes, I would want to see Mary Cosby and Jen Shah, just because they both, everyone's a wild card here, and you don't know how they would react to each other. So I think that those are my top 4. But if we have 8 to choose from, I want to add Sonia Morgan into the mix as a solo person. And then I want to add Sheree Whitfield, Marlo Hampton, or Sheree Whitfield and Portia, one of, 2 from Atlanta, and maybe even 1 from Orange County. Let's put in Heather Fancy Pants like Debro with all of the people who are like,
oh, I can't even imagine.
You know what I mean?
Even imagine. It would be the downer to everyone's upper. Like, it's just,
they would rip her apart. Like, nobody would give a shit. She's like, I have my private plane. They'd be like, girl, sit down, shut up. We don't care.
We are locked out here in Phuket for the next 8 days. Like, sit down and shut up and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, they would not care. Like on Orange County, on that cast, they all kiss ass because they want to ride in the private jet. They want to go to the $40,000, lunch that's catered to by Nobu. It was actually 30-something thousand, but they like to kiss her ass because they want to be included in these big events, and they want to travel and live the way Heather does. And someone especially like Gina, who's in a townhouse with her Brady Bunch, she doesn't live like Heather, and we get it. We don't live like Heather. So,
Gina kissed enough ass to stay on the show. It was Jen Armstrong and Noella Virginer who did not kiss enough ass to stay on that show. Because
we have to talk about that too.
We have to talk about that.
Mariella Walkup said, "You're leaving off messy ass Dallas." I just added ass in there. Sorry. I don't want anybody from Dallas, honestly. Like, I don't think that anybody was really that much of a standout to bring. I'm talking about my dream cast here. And really, if Nene Leakes wasn't suing, I would want Nene and Portia or Nene and Marlo to come on. But we know that Bravo, NBC, once you start suing them, you're not coming in.
I mean, that's true.
That's true. So
that's true.
But let's talk about this really quick, because Catherine brought this up. Noella, I'll miss her. Guys, if you haven't seen, it was announced this past week, and I love, well, I never want to see anyone fired, but I love when we get an exit statement saying, stay tuned. Can't wait to show you what we have coming up next, which obviously means go to Spotify, because they're coming out with a podcast and it'll be out in like the next month.
Cynthia Bailey is now hosting Cynthia Bailey still has a good in with NBC and that whole umbrella. I mean, she's hosting this show now,
but
coming out this cooking show. She walked away. That's okay. Yeah.
She did the same thing Tamra did. They called her and demoted her to a friend of, and she said, you know what? I think it's my time. I'm going to walk away. Noella Birchner was not offered a demotion.
Yeah, but didn't she also say that I'm choosing to leave the show?
Here, let's go to it really quick. I'm going to bring this up.
I'm curious.
I don't think that she said I'm choosing to leave the show in her statement. And I also, do you remember on Vanderpump Rules? Again, guys, 350 in the room, smash that like button. We'll start bringing up callers here in a minute. Do you remember when Vanderpump Rules, they all got called out after season 8 because we fired Brett Caprioni, Max Boyan, Stassi Schroeder, Kristen Doty, which means Brittany Cartwright and Bo Clark were also fired. Jax Taylor, Brittany, yeah, you guys get it. It was like a whole like group of people, and then they all had very similar statements, and then they got called out for it. And then
I'm choosing to move on. I'm choosing to, I'm so glad I had the opportunity to share my story. Now I'm moving on to other things. Cue Jen Armstrong also announcing that she's leaving at the same time, which to us means that contracts were sent out and you two didn't get them.
Exactly. And I spoke with one of the rumored housewives. And of course, they're not going to give us too much information, but Jason was laughing because once this came out, I sent her a DM and she sent me back a DM, just like kind of laughing her ass off. And I was like, oh, we're getting you back 100%. But hold on. Bravo Snarkside. I love Bravo Snarkside, and they're always reposting us. Okay. It was Noella first that said, after a wild season of ups and downs, I will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Orange County. Thank you to all of the fans for all of the love and support during quite possibly the hardest year of my life. I am looking forward to brighter skies ahead and can't wait to share what's next. It's always can't wait to share what's next. Jen Armstrong. I loved opening up about being a working mom on Real Housewives of Orange County. I am so grateful to have had the privilege to talk about my father, my kids, and a real modern relationship on national television. Listen, we could give a shit about talking about Ryan, okay? My family, we still don't understand why he's called Ryan. Anyways, let's get back to it. My family and my work are the most important aspects of my life, so I am stepping away from the Real Housewives of Orange County and focusing on them. That's making it sound like it was your choice. It was not your choice. Thank you to everyone who has reached out in support, especially from the working moms. Women can really have it all if you work for it. I believe in you, and I'll still be here to chat with it about you. Or chat about it with you. I love inspiring people to be their best. I'm forever grateful for the friends I've made and the lovely people at Bravo and Evolution Media. Here's to the next chapter, and I hope you'll follow along for the journey. There are so many exciting things to come, so stay tuned.
I'm about to unfollow on Instagram, so I'm not going to be following that journey. It was boring on Instagram. It was boring on the show. Why would I follow you in your next part of your journey? I'm not.
You're like, we're so done. We're not following shit. No.
Yeah. Bye.
And for Dr. Jen, it was obvious that she was going to be out. So if we have to guess the cast, guys, go ahead. I want to hear you in the live chat. And again, we're going to bring up callers here in a second. I'm guessing, and I feel like this is a really strong guess. Our main housewives are going to be Heather Dubrow, Shannon Bedore, Alexis Bellino, Tamra Judge. And then I think either Gina or Emily, one of them will be demoted and one of them will keep a full-time role. I'm guessing Emily with how messy she got last season, and then we'll demote Gina. And then I feel like we'll bring in a friend of who will obviously test for the show, and maybe she'll make it on as a full-time housewife. We don't know. But I think one thing's for certain, and Jason's been mentioning this a lot lately, is we're invested in our OGs. Look at what just happened with season 16. We fired the 2 newbies. It didn't work, right?
And it's really not working. I mean, Leah didn't really work. Ebony didn't work for everyone. Like, with New York. So we are invested in those OGs. I mean, look at Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's doing actually a great job this season. I think so. It carries my attention. I enjoy Marlo having a peach. I enjoy her and Kenya's back and forth. I'm actually enjoying Drew Sidora, but I still miss like the real OGs of the day.
I mean, I miss Portia. I miss Nene. I really hate it. I just wish we could see Nene on
Kim Zolciak.
Sometimes, yeah, sure. Throw her back in there.
When they were rerunning Atlanta and it was episode 1 of season 1. And I was like, and I'm sorry to I'm not trying to transition into Atlanta here, but I was like, wow, I forgot how much I liked Lisa Wu, on that first season. And then to see her last night, I was like, yeah, I don't miss you.
No, but she came in. The problem is with her, she came in last night and she was lit. And what happened, if you guys didn't watch Atlanta last night, just a brief sort of catch up, Sheree Whitfield, I always say Sheree.
You didn't think of it, She by Sheree.
She by Sheree. She invited Lisa Wu into the group for this like night in, whatever. But Lisa came in lit. She was a little drunky pants. And I think that Sheree was using this as an opportunity to get her back on the show, because on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, we see Dorinda and Jill clearly fighting, and Dorinda is exposing Jill, saying, you know, you're pissed off at me because so many of the seasons that I filmed, you would call me and ask, can I film with you? Can I film with you? Will you come over my house, film with me? And Dorinda's like, I wasn't in that headspace. I didn't care. You weren't on the show. I was. Get over it. And I think Sheree Whitfield is trying to do the same thing for Lisa and like reintroduce her into the group, especially after Carlos King just did that sit down with all of the Atlanta OGs except for Nene. It makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think she's more interesting than Drew Sidora.
I mean, listen, I wasn't all for Drew last season, but I'm okay with her this season.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to block a user really quick. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start bringing up callers again. Before I forget, we have to talk about the Erica drama. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course, I know what you're talking about. It's all over the internet. And then, of course, we find out, because if we don't know, one of our friends is Twitter spatting with someone else. So it's always funny to follow. And it gave me a great Twitter read this weekend. No pun intended, Zach.
I talked to Zach about this yesterday, and I was saying he said, because I did a video, and he said, thank you for not dragging me. And I said, I'm not going to go on there and drag you, because and Jason knows, Zach and I, especially when we did our Spilling Tea live tour together, we would have these moments where Zach would look at me and he's like, you're a bitch. And I feel like you're so judgy to me. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I would tell him, Zach, I don't understand why you engage in social media feuds. That's not me. Maybe that's you, but I don't get where you're coming from. He's like, you don't have to. But that's, I guess, what friends are. We don't have to agree on everything. I don't personally engage because they give me anxiety, and I don't like fighting with people. So I don't go in on Twitter feuds. But for Zach, I think, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, he has had his own personal back and forths with Ronald Richards in the past. So when Ronald Richards decided to post, and if you guys haven't heard about it, Ronald Richards has a clip of Tom Girardi. In the clip, it's anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes, I believe. I'm not exact on how long it was. The point is, though, you hear in the clip, and you can go, let me bring it up really quick. Everyone keeps asking me, where do I find the clip? Hold on. It's right here. You can go to Ronald Richards' Instagram, attorney Ronald Richards. Oh, I don't follow back. Okay. So whoops. You go down and you click right here where it says, it has like the kind of video looking thing, and it says Tom, Gronr. And it says, here's an edited clip redacting Tom Girardi's phone number. He decided to give us a call today to discuss Erica's deposition. He confirmed that he speaks with her and had just spoken to her. We had a lengthy conversation and are sharing this portion of it. We will be appearing on a YouTube broadcast soon to go over the entire call. The newest lawsuits against Erica, and a new one that is being filed this coming week. It is obvious that Tom and Erica are still collaborating to the extent that Tom can, and he also said that he was seeing clients at his senior assisted living facility. Listen to the call in the link in bio and in the story. I love how Ryan Bailey was like, can I use the audio from this on my podcast? Ryan's like in work mode. But, you know, it's the thing. So I'll just put this out there, and I'm not trying to engage with anyone. I know that I was asked, can we play the audio on your channel? And I flat out was just like, at this point, I don't want to do that. I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't necessarily, I can't really get behind someone who's medically diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, whether or not we believe him. I still don't like Tom Girardi. I think everything that he did was absolutely terrible. I don't like how Erica acts on the show. I can't really get behind her either. But there's something that doesn't feel necessarily right to me about recording someone who is supposedly not necessarily understanding what they're saying. And I didn't want to put that on my channel. And I think, Jason, you agreed with that. So,
of course.
Then from there, you saw Ronald Richards and Erica go at it. Erica told Ronald Richards' wife to get on all fours. That was kind of cringy. Then Zach now gets into the mix. Erica's reposting Zach. Everyone's fighting. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm staying out of it.
It's a mess.
But it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. And that's why it made hot, messy topics.
Exactly.
What a shit show. And I didn't know, I decided to talk to one of our favorite legal commentators about this too. And I was confused about the fact that Ronald Richards was saying that he was taking Erica's deposition. That kind of threw me back. But again, I don't necessarily understand all the legalities of it all, right? But then also she's being pursued for another $55 million lawsuit for allegedly being in cahoots with Tom Girardi and helping to allegedly funnel this money. And now we're hearing that she's getting hit with another lawsuit this upcoming week. That's a $55 million lawsuit, a $25 million lawsuit. But lucky for her, the $2 million lawsuit got thrown out. So
it just never stops. And I don't think it's going to be stopping for a while. But I think she did mention that on the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shit show. All right, guys, 500 in the room. Let's go ahead and start bringing up callers. I'm going to do 2 at a time. We're going to start with Sarah Bahu and Krista Marie. Hold on. Mr. Loophole, racketeering. Yes, it was racketeering.
Racketeering, yes.
I love you for having integrity, doll. Hey, thank you. Good call, Adam. Thanks, Elaine. Yeah, I couldn't get behind it, but it is what it is. Hi,
it's
Sarah.
So easy though, too. And sorry, guys. Hi. It's so easy because we do receive a lot of like clips. We have audio. We receive photos and stuff. And you really got to pick and choose what you want to do. It depends how dirty you want to get.
And like on top of this too, I remember when Mary Cosby and the whole Cameron thing, the man who unfortunately passed away, when that came out, we had her family members sending audio clips of his conversations with Mary and also photos of them. And they're like, play this on your channel. And I was like, I can't, this man is not alive. Like, I feel like I would be the biggest asshole with no integrity in the world. Give that to another YouTube channel. I can think of one off the top of my head. Go throw that over there. By the way, Krista, you look so tan. Sarah, are you showing houses today?
What? Am I showing houses today?
Yeah,
I hope so, but I don't have anybody wanting to see a house yet. If you're in Houston, call me. I'll show you a house.
All right. So, Joe Mendoza, Bad and Bougie, I see you down there. We'll bring you guys up next. For Krista and Sarah, I want to see, where do you want to start? Whether it's the Jen Shah stuff, Erica Girardi, you want to hit Southern Charm, Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, even Orange County firings.
So Orange County firings and Girls Trip. So 2 things I want to say that kind of connect on both of those. I feel like we're not giving enough people a second season or even sometimes a third season for them to even become people that we're invested in. Because if you look at Sutton, I was not thrilled with her first season. Her second season, I enjoyed her a lot more. Her third season, I'm enjoying her even more. So I feel like with Jen and Noella, I may not have loved them. Noella may have been on my last nerve, but she was messy to watch. Jen, I felt like she would have had storyline stuff as far as the divorce, her lawsuit, potentially stuff that her husband didn't want her to film, before, or different things that she may have tried to be. Anyway, I just think that I think that we need to give the women a little bit longer, bring them on maybe, as friends of, because so whatever happens their first season, it's the opposite the second. It seems like too. Everybody loved, Tiki Torch Naked Girl. And then they hated Jewish non-drinking, the second season. But it was also COVID. So it's like, give people a little bit of time, because when you just meet them, you don't have that much that you're invested in. We like Marlo. Marlo was a friend of for forever.
Right.
She
we know
now
her,
got a
so
peach,
it's easier.
and we know her. Yes. So you know what? I feel like also some of these housewives need to take that friend of role, work, and I don't do the Kim Kardashian work on it, and then take that. And to me, I would enjoy a friend of, like, okay, I'll film, I'll not film, whatever, a Kathy Hilton version of I'll work when I want to work.
You're not so obligated to your contracts either. Like, there's stuff you can do that, like the piece holders or diamond holders or whatever,
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're like, I do not want to go where they're going to start throwing glasses at the party, like Salt Lake at the end and stuff, you don't go. But if you're like, no, I'm going to go because I want to, be a snowflake holder the next year, you go and, you clean up the glass, or you do something, or you throw a bigger glass, whatever, right. Be you. But so anyway, I do think that some of these ladies may try to work for it in Thailand. And I do like sometimes when you have Tweedledee and Tweedledum to do crazy stuff, especially when they're going to be over there. I really think Thailand will be an interesting place to see. So that was OC and some of the other stuff for Thailand.
I'm really happy, just real quick to interject. I'm really happy that they didn't pair Giselle and Robin and they put Giselle and Candace, because
can you imagine?
Candace still, people love her, people hate her, but people like, she still delivers and you're watching. It's like,
well, you have enough. Yeah, you have enough pot stirrers. And then you were like, you mentioned, oh, well, Heather could be crazy fancy pants. Tinsley, I don't think has ever like even had to cook, like Tinsley's pretty fancy pants. She's got her trust fund,
I just keep watching her. She's always crying. And like, I'm like, this is.
Well, she won't be with Dorinda making her cry all the time. Dorinda, I loved. And now Dorinda has turned into a bitter Betty and she needs some therapy. So as far as I'm concerned, Tinsley might be a happy person, and she won't have a boyfriend that's treating her like crap and has a lot of like, who knows what he's saying behind the scenes, and you won't have Dorinda needling her and then pouring salt in her wounds, like stuff like about her fertility situation, being older and stuff that I just don't think she needed to go in on about. So I mean, that stuff would honestly make me cry. Well, I just would hope that I'd get off camera before I started to cry, or I would slap her.
She's doing it the same. It's not like it was Tinsley, and we know it wasn't Tinsley now. It's a Dorinda problem because she's doing it to everybody.
Dorinda's a mess.
Krista, I agree with you too. It's like Dorinda's coming off too, like she's coming off very aggressive.
Ugh, she got worse. I think she got worse than she did it to Tinsley. And I was like, all right, she just hates Tinsley, and she's a little bit bitter. She'll take the time off, reflect. She'll get better.
I thought the same thing.
Would never put her back on TV if this was the case. But no, she made Tamara cry, which is really hard to do.
Exactly.
And, like she almost made everybody cry, and I'm like, and it's even like toxic to watch her because it's like, what is this the focal point of this entire? We're on episode almost 6, and the whole focal point basically is how much of a mess she is, and they have to like hide from her.
And I also don't like battling a negative with a negative. I think it was really shitty what Brandy said to Taylor Armstrong about her husband or her ex-husband, former husband. Yeah. But I think that it was also, it doesn't make it better, the shitty thing that Dorinda said to Brandy about, well, what if your son was dead? I'm like,
I mean, it's like, she just doesn't understand that, like, what she's saying is stuff that you really can't even take it back. Nobody's going to want to ever be around her. This is like, they probably want to leave, like, cupcake eating mice that, like, are doing aerobics and hot air balloons, lady. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's crazy.
You know what? Dorinda could have been like, okay, give them the cupcakes downstairs and have them all open them and be like, oh, look how cute. And then be like, so guys, I really don't want you taking food upstairs because we live in an old ass house with lots of rats. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, like, she did not have to be as crazy. I just totally agree. Krista and I would have, You know what? We'll go to Berserkshires.
Yeah, I know that in the first cast of Ultimate Girls Trip, they were all current except for Cynthia, who was leaving. Am I wrong about that?
You're correct.
So we had the Ex-Wives Club season 2. Now I'm looking at the season 3 cast, and the only 2 people who, well, we don't know if Leah will be on New York or not, but Tinsley is kind of an interesting choice. Are they trying to prep her for Legacy and seeing if it's something that
maybe?
Because everyone is on a show here except for Tinsley, technically, right now.
I think they didn't find anything else, which is odd to me.
I don't think Leah, I think this is Leah, again, I feel like this is them throwing her a bone. I don't think we'll see Leah back on the show.
That's what I think they did with this cast, but it's working.
It could be testing, honestly, to see how people respond to both Leah and Tinsley. How do they work to get, like, because I honestly feel like they have no idea what they want to do with New York. Like, they know they have, because the other thing with both Tinsley and Leah is they're the younger two out of, because you have a bunch of old white ladies that live on the Upper East Side or West, wherever, up there. And then you have the younger two. So Tinsley and Leah and Ebony, who isn't, they're probably not going to bring back. Those were the only two that were younger. And I also feel like that was part of the disconnect with them. Tinsley did okay. Like they all tried to take a motherly role for Tinsley, but and Leah a little bit. But I think that since they're younger, that might be different. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Jason, did we lose you?
No, I'm
like
here.
To have, like Leah's sister on. Like if they did Legacy with Tinsley and her sister, I like a Legacy or whatever it's going to be called. I think Leah's sister would be good too on there if we're having Leah come back. I think that'd be like
Leah's sister.
I've talked to Sarah a few times. She's sweet, but I don't think that she likes filming.
No.
All right, before we go ahead and add other callers in, because I see that we have a few more callers down in the thing, I did want to ask both of you, what were your thoughts about this leaked audio clip from Tom Girardi?
Is it so?
I didn't
hear about it till you brought it up, but so is it real? It's really out there.
Yeah, go to Ronald Richards' Instagram. You can hear it. You can click the link in bio, and it has him talking to Ronald, and he's like, "I talk to Erica. We talk quite often. What is this deposition about? What are you doing?" And Ronald's like, "Well, why did you call?" He's like, "I wanted to hear about something to that effect." And he's like, "How often do you talk to Erica?" And he's like, "I talk to Erica pretty often." And he's like, "Why?" Or you have to go listen to it.
So here's my unvarnished and probably somewhat unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan of Ronald Richards. I don't know that Erica really knew or cared enough about the finances to know what was going on. Like she wouldn't have known. And I want to see more people focused on the lenders and the other lawyers, because the lenders funneling the money, knowing stuff was wrong, but still wanting their money back. And the other lawyers lying to the clients and lying to, and we can say allegedly around all this. So we don't have to worry about getting sued. I don't want Adam getting in trouble for my opinion. But
no offense,
but
we're
yeah.
not saying it.
So, but yeah, I mean, the other lawyers did a lot of lying to even the other lawyers. Like Jay Edelson. And so if he does indeed have Alzheimer's, he was with this woman for 20 years. So he's going to think that he can still talk to her probably, or he might still think that he's seeing clients or is still a lawyer. He's not going to have the short-term memory to realize what kind of a mess he's in that is public. And so I don't think that it's appropriate to even be sharing any of this, what could potentially be work product from a legal perspective with people. So I just think Ronald Richards is messy as hell, and we need to focus on the other people. And I do think that, Erica may get in trouble with like some tax things or that kind of stuff. But
okay.
So that's my unpopular opinion, probably.
Or popular, you never know. But
I haven't looked in. I don't look at comments when I'm talking because if somebody says something mean, I don't want to get my feelings hurt. So I just share what I want to share. And
I know I just turned my eyes over to the live chat. But Krista, Sarah, we appreciate you guys calling in. We're going to go ahead and bring up some more callers. And thank you guys so much. You both look beautiful. I wish I had your tan, Krista. And we'll see you. Hopefully, maybe we'll see you tonight for Let's Wine About It.
I'll be there.
Sounds good. I'd be there.
All right. See you tonight.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, we're going to bring up some more callers right now. I am curious to pick your brain. Again, we've talked about Orange County, the firings, Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, the cast. We talked a little bit about what's going on with Jen Shah, Erica Jayne, Ronald Richards, and the back and forth on Twitter with this leaked tape. I just wanted to hear your guys' opinions, and I'm sure that's exactly why you called in. So let's welcome 3 now this time to help round us off. 610 in the room. Don't forget to smash that like button. Hi, Bad and Bougie.
Hi, guys. How are you guys?
Good.
Hi.
How are you? Hello, Joe. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Corey.
What's up, guys?
All right.
Hello.
I'm gonna start with Bad and Bougie because I know that she was the first one in the queue. I'm curious where you wanted to begin here.
Well, let's talk about the season 3 cast of the Ultimate Girls Trip. Why do they keep forcing the New York women on us? We don't want them. That's why we weren't watching the show. They just want to force them down our throats. Like, we are going to watch them. Whether we keep saying year after year in the ratings, we don't want to see them. They're going to just force us. So, yeah, I won't be watching.
You're like, no, I'm good.
The other thing is, well, and then of course I feel Candace is going to be good because she's going to have drama with somebody, and I love her reads. Everybody hates Candace, but I love her. And
I'm
Giselle,
starting to
I
get a
really didn't need to
newfound
see
like
her.
appreciation for Candace.
We get enough of Giselle. Giselle's one of those people you can only take in doses. You know, like we don't need her all year round. Just during Potomac is fine with me. So that's basically what I had to say about the girls' trip.
Are you happy that Robin's not on it?
Yes, I am happy that, that'll probably make her a little bit more tolerable because she won't have a little puppy dog. And I'm going to be interested to see the dynamic between Giselle and Candace, because when we left off with Potomac, they weren't getting along too good, right? So I don't want to see, are they going to make up? Are they going to become besties again? Or are they going to have words? I'm kind of interested to see, what's going to happen with that.
I just thought about this too.
Atlanta. Marlo, I'm so sick of Marlo. Like, I heard somebody saying she deserves the peach. She was a friend for so long. Now we see why she was a friend for so long. And I knew it. If you guys look back, I said, Marlo's going to get ahead of herself and do way too much. Look what she's doing to Candy. And then this week, with giving away the damn kids, who does that? You cannot be a parent and just say, they broke my laptop. They got to go. Who does that? Like, to me, I felt like being the mom tea or whatever she called herself, I thought it was all for a storyline so she could get a peach anyway. Now that she has a peach, now these kids need to go for 30 days. I mean, that is just horrible to me, especially since the kids probably already have abandonment issues from their mom, and that's in the foster care system. And she's been from the foster care system, so she knows how it is to be because you do something wrong. So I was just like, I'm done.
That's what she supports. She supports the foster care system, and we just saw that two episodes ago. So that was confusing to me too. That's a great point.
Well, I wanted to kind of circle back really quick and go. I just thought about this when you were pointing it out. Do you think that Giselle and we'll get back into Atlanta, but do you think that producers were trying to take Giselle away from Robin to see how she would do without Robin? That way they could see if they don't, maybe they can cut a paycheck going into next season. Because we always hear that Robin's getting fired and she's never fired.
Right. No, they just decided to slap two black women with a whole bunch of white women to see how it would go. Because this is not the Housewives Ultimate Trip is not one that is very diverse. I'm sorry.
Well, you have 4 white women, 2 Spanish women.
They're white presenting Spanish women, okay? They're white presenting. They're not Afro-Latinas.
Okay. I mean, honestly, listen, Corey, I don't like this cast. I think that the only saving grace of this cast, the 2, or maybe even the 3, would be Candace Dillard-Bassett, Heather Gay, and Marisol Patton.
Not bad weather.
I don't like Heather and Whitney together.
I don't like them, period, because they're problematic. They're problematic.
I didn't say that. Joe, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know who they're testing and saying they want them, but I can think the ratings prove that we don't want them. And it's just like, okay, now you're gonna force them on here too. It's just I'm not watching it.
Leah's problematic as well.
No, thank you.
Leah's problematic too.
I think the cast that I suggested was so strong, even though some people would be up in the air and they would be like, we don't want to see Mary Cosby. We don't want to see Jen Shah. We don't want to see Lisa Rinna and Erica and Marlo and Portia and like whoever. It doesn't matter. It would be such a great season. And I think that it's fun. Everybody has like that kind of pop in their personality. They're not going to take shit from anyone. And I understand we need a peacekeeper, but that's why I said throw in Heather Fancy Pants Dubrow, because nobody's going to be bowing down to her. Nobody's going to give a shit because they're not on her cast and she can't get anyone fired.
I even side-eye Fancy Pants. I love Heather's wealth and her environment that she lives in, but I side-eye her a lot.
Corey, who do you like in Housewives?
Okay. Let me tell you, I like Brooks. She's a little shady. I love Ayan, and y'all remember Brendan, right?
Who?
My son Brendan.
Oh, Brendan, yeah. I thought you said Reagan. I was like, who's
Reagan? No. He is in love with Chanel Ayan. That is his Coco goddess, as he calls her. And I love Lisa Melange. I've watched her when I was in college on College Hill. So I mean, I like them. I like Marlo. I like because she's shady, and I like shoot.
So you like the Dubai cast?
Yeah, oh, yeah, not all of them.
Okay.
I want Sarah and Nina to become more of the cast. I mean, it's like we're running 2 shows here.
I think Nina's kind of boring, to be honest with you.
Nina is boring. Sarah needs to watch her preaching, which we're going to see is going to get her in trouble. But Stanbury could have stayed in Ladies of London. We didn't need her.
Wait, I'm so curious because you're very opinionated on the Housewives. So I want to see, is there anyone from Beverly Hills that you like?
I love Cherie. I hope she gets a cubic zirconia.
I don't think she will because she hates filming.
I think she's too smart to take yeah.
Probably, but she will give you the most shade and give you a good word from the Lord all in the same breath. That's why I love her.
Did you like anyone from Salt Lake?
No, I hated Salt Lake.
Did you like anyone from Miami?
No, I hated Miami. I wish they hadn't brought it back. They could have left that on the shelf, dusty and rusty. But can I say something about Marlo and the foster care?
Yes.
Which is really important to me because my family had foster children in our home. It is very difficult when you are a person who's not had the skills or the equipment to be a parent. She's just looking after her family members so they wouldn't go into the system again. It's very hard when you have kids who have mental health issues. They have behavioral issues. It is hard to have them. I've had them in my home since I was about 16, all the way up till I graduated high school. So right before I had Brendan, actually. And it's hard. It is hard to be a foster parent. It is hard to be an adoptive parent. If she doesn't have the equipment, she didn't have a real mother to follow, and all she was passed around. And as a former foster sister, I would have gave them to a respite home for 30 days myself, because she's tried to help these young men. She's put positive people in their lives. She's given them things they would have ordinarily never have gotten and exposed them to things. What happens is every time our kids went to see their parents or had a call from their parents, this is how they would act. And she doesn't realize that this is what's going to happen every time they come in contact with their mom. After she's gotten them stable, this is what's going to happen. Once she realizes what she needs to do and how to be a good parent or Monty, she will be fine. She needs this 30-day break so she can gather herself on how to, I guess, re-up and how to help these kids, because she's asked them, do you want to talk to somebody? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? They've lied to her. They've stolen from her. They are reverting back to their old habits as soon as they talk to their mom. And I've seen it time and time again, years in on years out, over 15, 20 years of being a foster family.
Bad and Bougie, you look like you have an opinion.
Yeah, I'm dying to jump in here. First of all, do we even know that the kids have mental issues?
They have mental issues regardless. They have abandonment issues from their mother.
I understand that, but I'm saying,
issue.
my point is that I raised 4 kids, 3 boys, okay? The stuff they were doing is not mental issues. And I didn't hear that they've been diagnosed with anything. Not washing the clothes like you're told, it's not a mental issue, and it's not that big of a deal if you're parenting.
That's not what I'm saying.
They didn't steal the laptop. They used the laptop and then somehow messed it up and was scared to give it back. I mean, and that's another thing and I'm speaking as a social worker for 13 years with DCFS. That's another thing. We can't be so quick to label, because I've never heard them be labeled with anything.
I wasn't labeling anybody. I was saying the kids that came into my home.
Let's try to let each other talk, because it's getting hard to hear.
But another thing is, why are you asking the children if they need counseling? What they're going through alone right there is enough for counseling. So my thing was, are you just saying this for the show? Because most parents would just go ahead and take their kid to counseling if they felt something was that wrong.
She's
Because
not a
that's the
parent.
problem with parenting. If you're going to let them make the decision as to if they need counseling or not, but then you're saying they have mental illness. So if they have mental illness, they're not going to make the right decision. So, I mean, to me, this is all for a storyline. And when the times got tough, I need a break. And the last thing those kids need is to be uprooted over here for 30 days and then back over here with me. Different homes have different rules. Now you're asking them to adjust and readjust again. I'm calling bullshit on Marlo. I'm calling bull. She wants a storyline. And when it got tough, she need a break. And that's not how parenting works.
Okay. As a parent of someone with special needs, sometimes I need a break too. Okay.
But we don't even have any proof that they have special needs.
That's not what I said though. But that's not what I said. I said the kids that came into my home had these issues and it was tough to deal with at first. Imagine you are a freshman in high school and you get a child in your home that you've never seen before, but looks just like your niece. And then there's a whole mind F right there with that, who looks just like your family. And you got to deal with that. You got to deal with entering high school for the first time. There's a lot that goes into when you take in foster kids. I understand you're a social worker, but you don't have them in your home.
Well, and I think you're relating it a lot to your life experience, and you're kind of applying it to these boys. We have no proof they have mental illness.
I didn't apply it to the boys.
We have no proof that they have anything going on that's not a normal teenager that tests boundaries. That's not what I said. I told my boys go wash the clothes and they stuff them somewhere because they don't feel like washing them. That's not mental illness.
That's not what I said though.
I think though too, really quick, I just want to kind of jump in here too, because my mom was also in foster care and adopted, and Jason's father was adopted. And I think that everybody has
foster care. Yeah.
And in foster care. And I think that everybody has a different situation and style. Mm-hmm. I know that personally, Jason and I have been in a relationship for over 8-9 years, and Jason at one point wanted to have kids, and I don't feel like I would ever be a good, responsible parent, because I think that sometimes I feel like too selfish and like work and everything that I have going on to ever apply that. So I wouldn't take on the responsibility because I don't think I would be good in that role. And some people are like my grandmother. She was very loving, caring, and my mom had foster brothers and sisters in and out of the house all the time. And my grandmother loved that environment. She loved to be a nurturer. And I know that I didn't get that. So I think that everyone's different, and some people are more able and are better at providing, at being a parent than other people. Like I would never want to be in this situation. I wouldn't put myself in the situation because I don't think I would be good at it. And for Marlo, I think she thought she was doing what was right for her nephews, and she put herself, she's like, let me take them in so they don't have to go somewhere else. I'm going to do my best. I think that's what she was trying to do. And I think that, this wasn't something that I don't know. I think that we have to keep watching, but exactly. And I think also, Bad and Bougie, to your defense, we know that there are a lot of people, for example, and I don't want to, there are apples and oranges, but Marisol Patton on Real Housewives of Miami blatantly said that she got married so she could become a housewife back on the show. She said, I got married to be brought back on the show. So it's just like, sometimes you do get people who will do extra or do more because it makes them, it makes them more desirable to be put in this position. And if you're brought onto the show, you're getting a paycheck, you're getting fame, you're getting to boost your businesses. So it all kind of goes in with each other. And again, I would be the worst parent ever. So that's why I'm happy I'm not a parent. I wouldn't put myself in that situation. Jason would be the best dad ever. I think it's to each their own.
Yeah. I don't like it when somebody tells me what I said and what I didn't say.
I don't think that was the point,
I didn't equate that with her nephews. I said some of these kids have these issues, and it's hard to deal with them when they first get in your home. So I'm saying it's hard for her to deal with it because she has no skills.
But then also, to Bad and Bougie's point, then if you again, and this isn't, I don't want to, go back and forth over somebody's family or situation because I'm not in their home. But to Bad and Bougie's point, I think also if you're not well equipped, or if you think, if you don't think that you can necessarily handle it, I think it might be even more damaging to someone by moving them around even more when they that might be a trigger for them. Because personally, my parents have been married over 11 times, divorced 9 times. I had step brothers and sisters coming in and out of my house all the time. I had step parents who were abusive and crazy, who were coming in and out of my house all the time. And when my dad would get married or divorced, or my mom would, it was like, okay, here we go again, round whatever. And it starts to so I think that there are always things that we go through. I think every single person on this panel and in the live chat can, say that there is something that triggers them in a situation.
And let me just say to you, I'm just debating the issue. Don't take it personal, sweetie.
I'm not taking it personal. Don't call me sweetie.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I said something to offend you. I'm not taking it personal.
All right.
That's condescending. Don't call me sweetie.
I don't think Corey. All right. Corey Bad and Bougie, Joe Mendoza. We just hit an hour in the room. We're going to go ahead and cap this off because we're getting ready for Let's Whine About It tonight. I want to make sure that everybody knows when we bring up the panel and stuff, we try to keep it. There's nothing personal here. We're talking about Bravo shows. We're not getting paid to talk about it. So I think it's just everybody having an opinion, and let's try to respect each other's opinion. And I want all of you guys to call back in. So please, Bad and Bougie, Corey, Joe, thank you guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, Jason.
We didn't even get to hear from Joe.
Joe, we didn't even get to hear
Joe
from
still
you.
there?
Yeah, no, girl. I was just trying to get some yes queen moment. That was a lot. No, but okay. I know we've reached the hour, and people have got things to do. I would say what Candy said in the confessional was right. To me, if you are deciding on taking on the responsibility, you have got to understand the pros and cons and what you're willing to take on, for that type of responsibility. So yeah, I mean, and she also admitted to Candy that she actually that Marlo told the kids to GTFO. So to me, it's not just about how you do it or what she did, but how she actually went about it. So that was a little rough for me. But I would say though, Adam, we do share some of our casting decisions for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, but let me just share mine.
Okay.
Noella, Marlo, Rinna, Jen Shah, Danielle Staub, Claudia Jordan, because we haven't really seen her in a hot minute, Chanel Ayan, so she could rip Rinna to shreds, Kim Zolciak, Mary Cosby, and wait for it, Meghan Kim.
Oh my God.
Okay, I think everybody was strong there, but I say we replaced, in a perfect world, replace Claudia with Nene. And Meghan King, I'm not mad at. I mean, listen, she uncovered the whole cancer scheme, so let's throw her in.
Yeah, and with regards to what's that guy's face? Ronald Richards. Wasn't there a thing about a two-party like calling if
in California there's a two-party consent, but I think he was in a different state where it's a one-party consent.
Yeah. Ronald Richards was calling in from a different state.
Well, I don't think Ronald Richards called him. I think
in
Tom
a different
called
state.
him.
Yeah.
But I think from my listen, I don't have a legal background, but from my understanding, if you both live in California and say you're in Florida, I don't know if, let's just pretend Florida is a one-party consent and not two. Mm-hmm. And Joe, you get a call even though you're a resident of California and you're in Florida when you receive the call. If you can prove that, then it's a one-party consent. That's to my understanding, but I'm not 100% on
yeah, to me, that whole thing, if I could sum that into one word, I would call it as skeezy. I just can't, I'm with you, Adam, I can't get behind that, but we all know that you already get behind someone every night. #the landslide.
Oh my.
Okay, Joe. Joe, thank you for calling.
Joe, God, I hope you're around later.
Yes, hopefully you're around for Let's Whine About It. And I honestly, I appreciate you bringing in some comedic relief to end us off here.
Yes, queen. Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Bye, Joe. We love you. Hopefully we'll see you at 7.
Bye, Joe.
All right. Judgy Justice, we miss you. Hopefully. Judgy Justice, send us a DM. I'm so curious to see you and your little family. Do you remember when she was having the baby?
Yes.
We haven't seen Judgy Justice in so long. And I remember the whole spiel too of this is my courtroom. And like I always liked it. Like it was like catchy. She had a wig. All right. With that, guys, we are going live at 7 p.m. tonight. This definitely put the messy and hot messy topic. So here we go. We're doing Let's Whine About It tonight. We're doing that at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific. The link is pinned in the live chat. It'll be Jason and I from our living room. Grab your favorite glass of wine or whatever you want to drink. We don't care. It's bring your own glass of whatever the hell you want. Okay.
I love how we decided to do this on a Monday night when we're not supposed to have a glass of wine.
I know.
Like
I don't know why we
just have a drink.
I think we just wanted to do a members only live, and we're like, what do we do? And I think that this is fun because it's more personal as opposed to like some of the and I think today proved it. Like sometimes with some of the Bravo topics, there's a lot of controversial topics, and sometimes it gets people excited. We get excited because we're either on this side or this side. I've seen it on Beverly Hills. I've seen it on every single franchise. Sometimes it's really fun to talk about and it's light and airy, and sometimes it's really hard to talk about. So this is more personal. It's less Bravo. We keep Bravo for everybody on here who's already subscribed. If you guys want to get into more of the personal-ish and the behind the scenes, then join us tonight at 7 p.m. If you're not joined, or if you haven't joined and you don't know how to join, you can just go to my main profile right next to where it says subscribe. You can click join and we'll see you there. Jason, did I miss anything?
Nope, that's it.
All right, guys. Bye. Smash the like button.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you to all of our mods and callers.